6:03 on Thursday, November 7th. We're at 68 degrees. A small chance of rain this morning, otherwise clouds, highs around 80. Yep, warm again. Good morning. I'm Michelle Basch.
And I'm John Aaron. The top local story we're following this hour. Election 2024, continuing coverage on WTOP. Control of the U.S. House still hangs in the balance, and a critical congressional race in Maryland remains too close to call. State elections workers say more than 309,000 mail-in ballots still need to be counted. WTOP's Lynn Bowie tells us that process will resume today.
It's the most competitive House race in Maryland. The 6th district includes Western Maryland, stretching into parts of Montgomery County. As of Wednesday night, Democrat April McLean Delaney had a narrow lead of 315 points over Republican Neil Parrott, with the Associated Press projecting 84% of the total votes had been counted. Democrats have represented the district for more than a decade. Meanwhile, a tight congressional race in Northern Virginia has been called for Democrat Eugene Vindman. With 98% of votes counted, he won 51.1% and will represent the 7th district, which is grounded in Prince William County and stretches south to Fredericksburg. Lynn Bowie, WTOP News.
Voting patterns that emerged in Maryland and Virginia during this presidential election mirrored those seen across the country. WTOP's Nick Iannelli is following that.
Even though Maryland is a solidly Democratic state,
the national trends of the shift towards the Republicans we see in Maryland as well.
Todd Eberly, a political science professor at St. Mary's College of Maryland.
Divides over where we live, the education divide between those with a college degree and those without. We are seeing these divides growing.
In Virginia, political analyst Bob Holsworth points to two close races involving U.S. House seats controlled by Democrats in the 7th and 10th congressional districts.
In almost every jurisdiction in those two districts, there was a shift of like 1 to 2 points to the right.
He says while Democratic voting was strong in Northern Virginia and around Richmond, it collapsed in rural Virginia. Nick Iannelli, WTOP News.
So what impact could the upcoming Trump presidency have on your investments and 401k? WTOP's Mike Murillo spoke with a local wealth manager.
For the most part, the Trump agenda, as well as a Republican Senate, benefits the U.S. economy with lower taxes and less regulation.
But according to Barry Glassman, president of Glassman Wealth Services,
at the same time, we worry about higher inflation
and potentially higher interest rates, which would make home buying more expensive. Also, he says,
we believe that under a Trump administration, we're going to see higher interest rates for a longer period of time. And that's shifting our thinking as far as where we put our safer dollars in portfolios.
And because the interest rates are high for some, that'll be things like CDs. Mike Murillo, WTOP News.
Vice President Harris delivered an emotional concession speech at her alma mater, Howard University, yesterday. WTOP's Scott Gelman is hearing from students and community members who packed the yard yesterday.
Waving American flags and cheering, thousands of people here at the yard listened to Vice President Kamala Harris deliver her concession speech, and as they left, many became emotional.
She showed what it is to be an actual leader because she accepted the defeat. She really kind of lifted my spirits back up because I was really devastated and saddened by the results.
This mom was here on election night and made sure to bring her young daughter back to campus for the event.
I wanted her to see that even when things get difficult or you don't get the outcome that you want, that you still show up and you continue to fight.
She started off with community building, even though she lost the race, stick together.
At Howard University, Scott Gelman, WTOP News.
Coming up, a popular deli could be forced to move. Traffic and weather in 30 seconds.